Hello and welcome back to another episode of More Than a Business Live. I am your host, Mitch Case. I'm also the co-founder of More Than a Meal, where we help organizations strengthen their most valued relationships by showing gratitude, appreciation, and empathy one meal at a time. We are coming back at you every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Time, interviewing executives, individuals within organizations that truly operate their company as more than just a business, more than just profit. And today's episode is going to be no different than that. This guest is actually going to make me a hero in my own house. So I'm excited to talk a little bit more in depth with that. But before we do that, I do want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Clarity Direct Partners. They are a local Kansas City staffing company that really helps finding trustworthy and reliable individuals, both on the company side as well as potential candidates. So if you're looking for a new space, whether it's in the AEC industry, whether it's in accounting, whatever that may be, go ahead and you can reach out to us and we'll make sure to get you connected with Clarity Direct Partners. So with all of that said, and without further ado, I do want to introduce our guest, Mr. Addison Zellmer. He is the president of Fairy Tale Cotton Candy. They are specializing in cotton candy. And when I say they are specializing in unique flavors in cotton candy, I'm gonna steal all this thunder with how many flavors they have, but we are going to do a live taste test here in just a moment. But without further ado, I want to welcome Addison to the show. Welcome, man.
Thanks, Mitch.
Awesome. Hey, go ahead and just give us a real quick overview on who the heck this Addison Zellmer is and kind of what your day-to-day looks like, and maybe give us a little bit more about Fairy Tale as the cotton candy company.
Okay, yeah. So again, like Mitch said, I'm Addison Zellmer. I'm the president of Fairy Tale Cotton Candy. A day in, day out for me is we have a cotton candy production facility in Des Moines that we make cotton candy out of. I manage about 45 employees between production, maintenance, sanitation, food safety, and everything else under the sun. HR, when you work for a small company, you wear many different hats. So, doing whatever you need to do on a day in, day out basis. We, as a Fairy Tale organization, we sell all the way from your little mom and pop shops out in the tourist destinations, all the way to big time retailers like Burlington or Universal Studios, some bigger retailers like that.
Oh, wow. I did promise we'll do the taste test. We're going to do that in just a second here because I want them to see the brand and know that we're actually very, very unique flavors with that. Before we do, if anybody is tuning in live right now, let us know what platform you're watching from, whether it's YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, anything along those lines. Shout out where you're at physically as well so we can understand who's tuning in. If you have any questions for myself or Addison as we go through this, shoot them into the comments and I'll be able to respond those and put them up on the live screen here as well. So Addison was kind enough to send me about 6 different flavors a little bit ago. And we're going to test this one out, which is just caramel apple. But to get an idea of like these unique flavors that have come to my doorstep, and it's, Addison, correct me, is it how many, 40 plus flavors?
Yeah, we're around 45 right now, and then we do some seasonal offerings as well.
Okay. So in the kitchen right now, I have pickle flavor. I have Mexican hot chocolate, which is Addison's personal favorite. Yep. I have Carolina Reaper cherry cotton candy, which scares the crap out of me a little bit. We also have pickle. Not a huge pickle fan, but I'm going to try it anyways. We have root beer and sour rainbow. So there are just so many different unique flavors. And I figured, I've already had a little bit and it's so good that I wanted to do it live again. But I am not a cotton candy connoisseur. My son is, but the fluff factor on this, Addison, is fantastic. So why don't you, while I start choking this down and it's not an awkward silence, tell us about a positive impact story that maybe you or Fairy Tale has had on a community member, a team member, or maybe even a client.
Yeah. Again, with being at a smaller company, sometimes you are not, you don't have the access to everything as much as some of these larger companies have when it comes to short-term disability, long-term disability, life insurance, this, that, and the other thing. So one challenge that we found as we grew, we ran into a situation where we had an employee get pregnant. And what do you do in this situation if your company does not offer short-term disability? Do you come up with a policy? Do you come up with a plan? Do you just say, I use your PTO and that's all I can do for you?
Yeah.
So, I met with the two owners, Meg and Steve Shearer. They're a wonderful couple that own the business that I work for. And, they said, we need to do what's right. What they took some examples from me working for some larger companies. I said, well, normally they would offer this, or this is what short term would offer you. And we were able to get a plan together and a policy. As we grew, now we're able to fully offer it. But at that time, we were able to offer that to that employee. So they were able to get full income for a set amount of time and not have to worry about their paycheck and could spend the time with their child where they needed to be. Being a family first company and a family owned company, that was very important to us. And since that has happened, we've had to use the same policy 2 different times. And I can't tell you what it means to me that those employees are still with us, that they're still here. They work extremely hard and they're so grateful for what you're able to offer them. And again, when we talk about what's more than a business, that was one of those things that kind of hit home for me. Is like that the owners empowered. They're like, hey, what do you think is the right thing? And they empowered me and gave me the tools and the spirit to handle that situation.
I so much enjoy hearing and having conversations around that, around maternity leave or paternity leave, or additional benefits that are needed to help in those situations like that. A good friend of mine wrote a book that really revolves around trust and how much trust leads to loyalty. And you talked about those individuals still being there. The fact that, you can be at a place of work that knows that if anything unexpected, an injury, an illness, or anything along those lines, or something that maybe was expected, but maybe isn't necessarily covered, that ultimately the right thing is going to be done. They're going to be taken care of, and that trust is going to be there. It just, that book for me was really eye opening to how much just truly building trust that they know, good days or bad days, that you've got their back, the amount of loyalty and the retention that comes along with that. It's not necessarily about all the shiny toys or the perfect benefits. It's just doing the right thing and making sure that they know they're cared for. So I thoroughly love hearing opportunities like that. Clearly that really brings in the idea of just more than a business in general, but let's now talk a little bit more in depth and maybe some other scenarios where Fairy Tale truly is more than just a business, more than just the profit. That ultimately we know profit has to happen within organizations. It's not a bad word, but what is it that goes beyond the profit side of things?
The biggest thing that they do is they always want to give back. So one of the biggest things that we do here is we're a small business, but we're able to offer we have 250 plus groups a year, whether it be a PTA fundraiser, a school, a baseball team, someone. They're like, hey, can you give us a donation for our silent auction? Can you? So every year we do probably 250 to 300 different gifts to people. We also partner with the local ARL here and do caramel apples. So you tried the caramel apple cotton.
Oh yeah.
So we partner with a few other local companies here, and we provide caramel apples for the ARL to sell as a fundraiser for them. That's another big one that we do. And a personal one for me is I approached Meg and Steve this year, and I said a big goal of mine was I wanted to go on a mission trip. I wanted to deepen my faith. And the first thing it was, that's awesome. We want you to go. And then the second thing was like, can we donate money to help the cause? And when you have backing like that, it makes you feel so good for the company you work for. And then also it allows you to then empower your other employees. Well, do you want to do the same thing? Do you want to hear about my trip? I hope you go on a trip like that. How can we help you reach your goals, whether it's personal or professional, to get to that next level?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So many things on this one. Just like choosing to prioritize things that are most important to you, where obviously work is important, but it's not the only thing that who we are. You can't identify as your job or anything along those lines. So kudos to you for taking that trip when you have a lot of responsibility. I'm sure there's 0 things on your task list right now. So
none.
I know how hard that is to like break free of that, and just an amazing organization to encourage it and then say, all right, how can we make even bigger impact? But I really want to talk about just leading from the top side of things, where, I know there's a lot of benefits of, unlimited PTO. And the statistics show that most people that have an unlimited PTO take less vacation than if they had a limited amount of PTO.
That's very true.
So I look at some of those organizations and I never see the executives. I never see the president. I never see the CEO taking these like trips often and getting out or anything. So, it's hard to, as a team member, see from the top, well, if that person's not taking time off to rejuvenate themselves or be with family or doing faith missions, then I don't feel like I can do that. Otherwise, I'm not going to be. So I'm just saying, I really, really hear and love when organizations, leaders like that are truly prioritizing that to lead from the top and not just say, hey, go on vacation. You deserve the time off, but I'm going to stay here and just inundate myself, because I have run myself into the ground many, many times by not prioritizing my own mental health on that side of things.
Yeah. Well, and like for myself, I got, 3 young kids at home, and, so it's big to me to want to set that example for them, that, they're like, oh, what are you doing, Dad? What are you going to go do? Why are you going to be gone for 4 days, and why it's so important to me? My employees come to me, oh, my son has a choir concert. Go ahead. I want you to go. You're a family person first. You have kids, you have a significant other, maybe. Take care of that. You want to go walk your child to school, to kindergarten, the first few days? I have no problem if you come an hour late. Like, I'm going to work with you because I want you to feel like you are valued here, that we want you here. And we know we all have lives outside of work. You have to have that balance. And, I've been at plenty of places where they didn't value that. And that always bothered me and ate at me. And now I'm at a place where, I have a company that fully endorses and wants to back that culture of empathy and empowerment. And it's phenomenal.
So at an organization where you guys are, like, quite honestly, like manufacturing candy, like you've got people on the floor, correct, making candy,
Correct.
making all of this. So you're only able to produce if somebody is there doing that. It's not a software that just works in the background or anything along those lines. So you have hands on to actually
Correct.
produce the product that generates revenue.
Yep.
How do you, this is just kind of coming to my brain, but how do you make sure you're still being able to get that product out the door while maybe allowing that person to be an hour late to go and be there as a father, a mother, a grandparent, whatever that may be, without your whole business completely tanking?
Right.
So it's a loaded question, but I'm hoping others will kind of hear, because you've clearly done something if you encourage that within your organization.
Yeah, I say the biggest thing that we have here is trust and selflessness are the 2 things that I will say. So trust in that everyone that works for, underneath me, I trust them 100%. I am not going to micromanage you. You're trusted to do a job. I expect you to do that job and do it to the best of your ability. And with that comes, I think, a lot of buy-in and ownership that, hey, this is my cotton candy. This is my shipping department. Obviously I oversee them, but they're doing the work day in, day out. I don't do the work. I help guide them. I help mentor them, but they're the ones that have their boots on the ground every day. And then I would say just the selflessness of everyone here. They're not afraid to jump in and get their hands dirty. The supervisor, if they're short, he'll go pack cotton candy.
Yeah.
If I'm gone for a day and someone needs to take needs to take an audit or a quality assurance call, I know that that's covered by my food safety and quality assurance leader. Like, you have these people in these places, and if you give them enough empowerment and trust them, they will do right by your business. I've been at plenty of places where that isn't the case. If they don't trust you, they're always over your head. There's a lot of caution tape, yellow tape around.
Yeah.
We don't have that here. I trust you 100%. And I hope all my employees listen to this call and understand this. I mean, I hope they feel that way. But just know, I want to say that verbally, that, like, I trust everyone 100%. You guys have helped us grow 200% in, some 5 odd years since I've been here. And it's been cool to see that organic culture grow, where once you put those, pillars in place, it just organically grows, and naturally people hear about your work culture, your work shifts, the people, and then the more seasoned your employing staff gets, the faster we are at making cotton candy. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh. There's so many, the team culture, like, I'm sitting here thinking about the Royals right now because we got a big game tonight, trying to save this series. And one person goes down, whether that's an injury or dropping kids off, whatever that may be. The mentality is that the other surrounding team members have their back to be able to pick up anything that's lost or slowed down so that they can step in and do that, because they know that eventually maybe their time is going to come where they need that time off, and that other person may be willing to step in and help out. I just love how this like organic culture of just team building where, and obviously I think that comes from building a business that has structure that allows individuals to have some overlap with other positions. Because if you get too siloed, I mean, one person's gone, I mean, that it just doesn't move. So it sounds like you guys have built something where there's a lot of collaboration and kind of being able to pick things up
from the
too.
top down, it's been, no one's afraid to jump in, even myself. I mean, the first week I worked at Fairy Tale, I ran the sealing machine because we didn't have enough people. I ran the sealing machine that puts a seal on the cotton candy. It just, and it's always been that way. We've always been a hands-on company, all hands on deck. Yeah,
Did
great
you seal
seal.
this one?
I did not seal that one. I helped pack that one, but that was about it.
Man, this stuff is so good. All right, I'm gonna hide that one.
Just that we're able to do that, and we've seen that organic culture grow just because everyone here. I mean, I will still say to this day, the best bowler we have is one of the owners of the company, Meg. If she came over and bowled, bowled the cotton candy like you see at a carnival, she's still the best bowler we have, and she probably hasn't bowled in 4 years. And they're not afraid to come over here and do that. They want people to see them. They want to be a part of the. I obviously run the company or run the company now, but they're definitely a big part of why we're able to do the things that we do.
I love hearing that. Those kind of companies too, and just what the number of people that you've just mentioned that you have on your team too. Like, it's very easy to just kind of lose track, or things can get a little haywire, or all of a sudden you go from mom and pop shop to this business, and it loses that family flavor, if you will. But it sounds like you guys have held that together quite honest, like very well, and it sounds like from the top down. So kudos to you guys for that. That's really inspiring. As we want to grow some of our brands as well. Let's transition. We're gonna run out of time if we don't keep moving here. As much as I want to stay on that, let's talk about you, Addison. I know you kind of worked your way up into this position. There are days where maybe you only have 20% of yourself to give, but you still have to find a way to give 100% of that to the people that you're blessed to serve. So what continues to motivate you to show up every single day, work on this business, serve the people that you're blessed to serve, and the team that you're blessed to have?
Well, first, I would just say my family. I'm blessed to have a beautiful wife at home. We've been married 9 years. I have 3 young kids, 7, 5, and almost 3. So very busy household.
Yes.
Very similar to your kids, I think, too, right? We have.
You just started mentioning all of that. So my wife and I are going to celebrate 10 years here in the next 6 months, and 7, 4, and 2, almost 3. It'll be 2 months.
Okay. Yeah. So they motivate me every day, obviously, not only professionally and being able to provide for them, but also, emotionally and spiritually. They push my boundaries every day and make me want to be better, be a better person, be a better Christian. How do I had a person the other day that worked underneath me at another job, and he goes, "Well, it seems like you made it to the top. What motivates you now? That you're a president of a company." And I said I was blessed with a lot of great mentors along the way. And first, my parents, obviously, they were instilled in me great Christian values, hard work, selflessness. They always gave so much to us boys, being able to. We always had, if we needed a new ball glove at the field, we had a new ball glove. They made everything, every baseball tournament, every choir concert. It didn't matter. They always made it. And then they both worked extremely hard. So showing that work ethic to us at a young age was vital to, how I got to grow to who I am now. I grew up in a very competitive household. I had 2 older brothers, so naturally we competed in everything from basketball to wrestling, football. We were all in the 4-H program together. I don't know if you know what 4-H is, but
I'm not familiar with that.
Tremendous program that kids from 4th grade on up can get into, and you can learn about projects, community service. That's how I became a very gifted speaker. They have public speaking, they have working exhibits where you can teach people how to make stuff. and it's a good nationwide organization to get involved with.
Wow.
So if anybody is listening out there that doesn't have their children in 4-H, I would highly recommend taking a look at it. It's a great program to get your kids involved with and help grow their skills. And
yeah, I'm gonna go be looking that one up. I might even throw that into the comments a little bit later for somebody to kind of take a look at. Well, man, just a shout out to all the parents out there that have sacrificed so much. Having now been a parent for the last 7 years, there's a lot of things that go unappreciated that maybe those involved parents have done in the past, where maybe that ball glove um, wasn't on the budget, but found a way, picked up an extra shift, did something extra here and there that you never even knew about to give you the head start that I raised my hand that my parents gave me as well. So
yeah, the selflessness and sacrifice that you don't realize until you have kids, that truly what it takes and what they gave to you. And that just gives you just a deeper love for them,
you can say that again. Amen. Amen. Addison, man, I have thoroughly enjoyed just learning a little bit more, and I hope everybody that's tuned in now or down the road has enjoyed this as much as possible, and now trying to figure out how they can get this cotton candy out to their team and their clients. So we'll make sure to toss in a link to the website where you can get some of this after the show. But if anything has kind of resonated with anybody that's tuning in, Addison, whether they are looking for some cotton candy or bigger purchases where maybe just not the website's the right way to go about it, or if they want to hear more about how they can be more involved or potentially work with you, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Yeah, the best way to reach me is probably LinkedIn or Facebook. So their social media platform. That would be the two best ways. I check those pretty consistently. So,
well, if you have a hard time getting a hold of Addison, I can track him down as well, so you can reach out to me as well, and we'll make sure to make that happen. But my wife and I always want to make sure that we show our own gratitude for you spending the time on our show. You are not paid. You actually sent me stuff, so I'm going to send stuff back to you. We always love the ability to give a gift of one of our meals through More Than a Meal to someone on your team that you think might be deserving of that gift. So if you have anybody in mind and kind of why, feeling as you can share as much or as little as you'd like about that person, we'd love to hear about them.
Yeah, so I chose an employee here at the company. I'm not going to name her, but the amount of work she does and the trust that I have in what she's doing is just tremendous. It's all been earned. She has put the sweat equity in. She has worked extremely hard, got extra trainings done, and just goes above and beyond. And she was not one of my hires. She was here long before I came on, but she has always taken anything we've thrown at her and excelled tremendously. She's gone through some medical issues as well. And she is just tough as nails and an awesome employee. And I think it'd be right to give her this meal to hopefully help her out for a night so she doesn't have to worry about cooking dinner for her boyfriend and the son and everything.
We've got her covered. So we'll connect offline, Addison, to make sure we can get that to her in a timely manner. But that's it. We've reached the end of the show. Addison, I always like to allow our guests to kind of give just any last minute words of wisdom, advice, or anything, particularly if you have a big celebration coming up, we want to hear about it as well. So any kind of last minute things that we want to toss in here. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and sign us out.
No, just thank you again, Mitch, for having me on the show. Obviously, I know like a culture like ours isn't built overnight. But if anybody has any questions about how we did that or wants to come tour our factory, we have an awesome factory in Des Moines. Just hit me up and let me know, and we can get you involved. And for me personally, I just want to keep growing and glorifying God in all I do, and providing for my family and at my position and at my job at work. So I hope you guys, everybody enjoyed the conversation that we had. And again, Mitch, thank you for having me on.
Yeah. I might have to take you up on that tour. I'm a mechanical engineer, so anytime I can set forward some operations and machinery going, I am a factory junkie. I love that. So
you should check out our Instagram. We have a ton of videos on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be one of those. Yes. All right. I'm going to be all over that now. That's going to be like one of those very satisfying videos to watch.
You'll get hungry.
I have the thing to fix that. Addison, thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for making me a hero in my own house with sending this cotton candy. I'll definitely be sending some pictures to you with my kiddos, hands deep in some of these buckets. So with that, we're going to be back next Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Time. Make sure to tune in and catch one of our other leaders that we'll have on More Than a Business Live. And until next time, guys, have a wonderful rest of your day and go Royals. See you guys.